Hi guys, welcome back to our channel, Hamwiltref.
How's it going?
Hey, everybody out there.
So we are here today because we were going to talk about relationships on YouTube, relationships when you're pretty much a public figure.
When you're in the media, in the public eye, and relationship issues that may arise.
For whatever reason, lately I've been seeing quite a few YouTube couples, interracial couples who have divorced. So my family and I were having a discussion about what was minimally expected by our audience, our YouTube audience. And let me just make it clear right now, Sam and I are not breaking up. We're not getting a divorce. But the topic is about divorce and breaking up, relationships breaking up. And when you're a YouTube figure, how that should be handled as far as being fair to our audiences. And guys, don't let me do all the talking here, okay? So I was just curious to know what is minimally expected by our audience when couples break up. What is expected? And the topic came up because we saw a YouTube channel, and I don't want to mention any names because I'm pretty sure some of my subscribers at least are also subscribed to that channel and trying to be sensitive to that person's situation. I really just don't want to go putting names out there. But if you are subscribed to that channel, I'm pretty sure you'll know exactly who I'm talking about, even though I'm not going to mention names. But that's how the topic came up. So, and when you have interracial couples and you see, you're pretty much bringing your audience into your family. You're bringing your audience into your relationship to a certain extent. So your audience is pretty much there because they were interested in your family dynamics and how you and your partner relate to each other and how they relate to the rest of the family. And something about your content attracted them. The channel that I'm referring to is a channel where, again, it's an interracial couple. They're pretty much, I believe, a blended family. And I guess the guy, the husband, is no longer featured on the channel. So there's a lot of questions as to what happened to the husband. Where is the husband? The video that I saw, it was maybe posted maybe about 9 months or something ago. I don't know. It's been some time, almost a year ago. And the video, the woman of that household was pretty much, I don't want to say complaining, but she talked about the fact that there were people who were asking questions. People were questioning the marriage. People were going to her adult children's social media sites, and they were inquiring about the parents' marriage. And she felt that that was inappropriate. She also said they were reaching out in other ways, which I did feel, I agreed on that it was inappropriate. She never really gave a direct response in the video as to what happened to the husband and why he's no longer being featured in the videos. What she did say was that there's been a shift in their family and their family dynamics change. So she never really directly said that they were divorced, they're going through a divorce, they broke up. She never directly said that, but she hinted to it by saying that there was a shift. The whole conversation is, again, not to be insensitive to her. Like I said, I'm not going to mention any names because, she's going through some things obviously right now, and I don't want to make that situation worse. However, I just thought, since my family and I talked about it, that it was just an interesting topic as far as, well, what is expected? Because in some people's point of view, your privacy means something. So she has the right to keep that information private if she does not want to share that with her audience. And then on the other end, there's the argument that, well, you pretty much brought us into your lives, so we pretty much have a right to know. So I just want to know from you guys, what do you think in the comments? If it's something that's just, you feel like it's somebody's private life and it should remain private. If they, and this doesn't go for every person, I'm actually really pretty much referring to people who are public figures, YouTubers, people who kind of put their lives out there like that. So I'm going to let Sam and Imani chime in.
So obviously, anyone would want their privacy. Like, that's just a normal, natural thing that people should want. But when you make yourself a public figure, especially if you are capitalizing off of your relationship to gain views or whatever, your subscribers, your content is based around like your relationship, and your subscribers, your followers, people who like, taking in your content, if they came around for a specific reason, which was they were interested in your relationship and how it works and all that type of stuff, and then all of a sudden it's not that anymore, obviously those subscribers are going to ask questions. They're going to want to know what happened. And I feel like, they deserve some sort of answer, because you basically capitalize off of your relationship. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
right, but
people like to see it, but
not to interject, but there are some people who capitalize off of other things. They may be makeup gurus,
but if then they stop doing makeup and they start doing something else, then obviously you're going to have to explain that to your subscribers, because
Well, not only that, but you're going to lose subscribers and you're going to gain new ones because the subject matter has changed.
True.
So that was the basis of the whole
Was her relationship
channel, was their relationship, right? Although she
I'm not
included
sure.
her family, I think that usually these channels are.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's more. I think it's more similar to
surrounding
ours, where we feature our entire family. But,
right, but they're not tuning in to look at.
Well, I don't know
what's going on in Charlie's life today, and what's going on in Joshua's life, but
right.
they kind of want the big picture. These things are not easy because your viewers are like a fly on the wall in your house, but you invite them in, and in a way you kind of create the content that you put out. So if everything is, everything may not be completely factual, as to how you interact on a daily basis. So, I mean, our content, we're usually pretty, upfront with how we are
Right.
with one another. We're not fake about it.
Right. Well, I'm not saying anybody's fake, though. We're not saying anybody's
That's
fake.
not where I kind of got off on a
Don't take that out of
but-
context.
But I digress.
Okay.
And I never say that word. So
Okay.
back to the original subject here.
So,
It's
okay.
really up to the individual couple and how
Right.
they want to handle it, because
Right.
it's their channel.
Right.
It's their personal life.
Right.
And if they want to put the personal business out there, that's an individual thing. And each and every individual is going to have a different way of handling.
Right. Right. You make a
And
good point.
Not everybody has the same type of emotions and knows how to handle these breakups, in the same way.
Right.
So,
She made a video and she talked about how people were being rude, and, they were, asking questions, and understandably so, she's just not.
because everybody has a different expectation.
Right. Everybody has, and that's the reason why we're talking today, because I'm trying to
So
get a feel of what the expectation is.
not all of your subscribers are going to have the same expectation.
Right.
I think a lot of them are.
Because it's going to be as varied as there are as many people that are subscribed to your channel.
Right. So if
Everybody's gonna
somebody
have
gets a divorce,
completely different opinion.
if your favorite YouTuber, and you subscribe to them because you were there for their family, the husband, the wife, the family dynamics, and you were there, and then all of a sudden one of them aren't, that changes. What is the expectation? You have several.
I feel like most people, especially from, if I'm subscribed to a certain channel, I'm subscribed to them because I'm expecting a certain type of content from them. And if they're no longer bringing that sort of content, then I think any subscriber would have questions. Any subscriber would want to know, even though some would be more pushy than others, or some might be more like outspoken about it than others. They're all going to want to know.
I think the ones that don't have a real life are the ones that are going to be more interested in that.
I think you could even put it this way, like, what if you subscribe to a YouTuber because he did a lot of gun reviews that you liked, right?
And then he started.
Let's say in his real life, he got a felony charge, so he's not allowed to own those guns anymore, and his YouTube content took a shift to where he's reviewing like crossbows or something like that.
Here's Jamal. He's chiming in on the conversation here. Go ahead, Jamal.
Yeah, just the way I kind of view it is, if you subscribe to a YouTube channel expecting certain kind of content, within reason, anybody's going to wonder about that content. There's a couple people that I subscribe to on YouTube. You know, I'm really into sports, whether, you know, be watching basketball, different thing, reviews like that. If that YouTuber went and took away that content, for example, if I subscribe to a YouTuber like, you know, to see basketball clips and different things like that, and then they suddenly started showing cricket on their channel, I'm going to wonder what happened. You get what I'm saying? I feel like with reason, anybody should be able to ask what happened and different things like that. So it's just, you could take it any kind of way as far as that. But I feel like you have, once you decide to get into that realm and kind of step into that celebrity kind of status, even though, you know, no matter how big you are, how many subscribers you are.
If you have a following, if you have a following that follow for a specific reason, they're going to wonder where that content that they came for went. Like, where did it go?
That's why personally on this one.
Do you think that they deserve an answer? Like, yes, it's okay for them to ask, but do you think that they deserve an answer?
I don't think they deserve an answer.
I think that they do deserve an answer.
I think they do,
only
because
of,
especially if you're like I said, capitalizing, you're making money off of their views. Exactly. I feel like,
well, if you want to continue their, you know, having them as a subscriber, then they.
But as a YouTuber, that's what you want.
They feel as though they deserve it.
In a real world
because,
sense,
you know, I think they do, because you draw them.
In a real world sense, they don't.
But you draw your viewers into your world.
Okay, it's like
they are there because of your content, and if that is your content is you showcasing your family dynamics, then in all fairness.
Yeah. So it's like in the place that I work at for customer retention or like resolving customer issues, if we do something wrong or if something gets messed up, even if it's not even our fault, like say someone ordered something the wrong way or whatever, in order to retain that customer and retain that relationship between our business and the customer, we're going to try what we can to make it right, even if it's not even our fault. So in YouTube, you're going to try to retain your subscribers. So you want to do what's going to make the situation right, in a sense.
And that's a perfect analogy, because where you work is more, you rely on the local kind of those same people coming back. And that's the same kind of thing with YouTube. If you're not a huge YouTuber that just, you know, off the strength you get, you know, 1 million, 2 million, whatever kind of views you get, you're not really in the space to where you can say, I don't care about appeasing, you know, a large majority of my fans. That's going to
why are you doing what you do?
You shouldn't do it. You get what I'm saying? Like, I understand there's a certain level of privacy that you got to move forward with, but I feel like when you decide to step into that realm, especially capitalize off of what you make the channel about, your channel is about your relationship with, you know, your partner and how that dynamic works. If that dynamic is suddenly not there, then what your subscribers are there for is no longer there, and they're entitled to ask on what that is about.
It's going to change everything.
It changes everything.
It changes everything.
You could lose subscribers. There's a lot of things that goes along with that.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, giving them some sort of answer. Of course, you're still going to lose some subscribers, but I just feel like it might help in that retention aspect of it.
I mean, another example, a retail store specializes in clothing, and then all of a sudden, all right, now all they're selling is hair products.
Right. Exactly.
So,
people are going to be mad.
Let's say even worse, you have a membership to that place. Like you have a membership that you know, pay for and stuff like that. Not necessarily that subscribers pay, but in a sense they do.
Feel like, they've lost out.
Right.
Exactly. It switched the product on them.
So most of us are in agreement here that, yes, you do owe your audience some type of answer.
Another side of that story that you're not going to see the husband or the ex-husband's point of view.
We don't know
We don't know.
Right. What do you think? Well, how much do you owe your audience? Because her position was, and I completely understand it, is that, you know, she's just not ready to go there. She's not ready to talk about that right now. What is expected how much should you tell your audience? People handle things, I agree with Sam, because Sam said it earlier, people handle things in different ways, right? And I'm going to give you some examples. Like there's YouTubers, and some people out there you guys may be familiar with, and maybe not, I don't know. But I think her name is Mary Shoemate. Anyway, she had a channel. I don't remember her husband's name or whatever. I'm actually subscribed to her, but they went through a divorce, and they both talked about the divorce in social media. However, both of them kind of bashed each other. Like, she talked about what an awful father he was, and he wasn't coming to see his children. He ragged her on social media and said that she was a scammer. So it was a little weird because they were bashing each other. I guess they were just trying to get back at each other or something. I don't know, but that's the way they handled it. And then there was what is her name? Tony Delaney. Her channel was Tony and the Boy, and her husband, I don't know what the circumstances were, but they divorced as well. And she bared her soul out on YouTube to the point where you just kind of get caught up looking at these videos. I started watching one of her videos, and then it was like my heart was just drawn into her situation, and she pretty much took her audience through the ups, the downs, the depression, the breaking down, the tears, and was very emotional. But that's the way she handled it, and I guess she handled it that way because it was therapeutic for her. And then you have like Jamie and Nikki. A lot of you out there are probably very familiar with them because they're very popular interracial YouTube channel. And when they went through their divorce, they handled it very gracefully. Nobody ever bashed the other person. They never had a mean-spirited thing to say about each other. They parted gracefully. They told their audience. They let their audience know. But, they never got into the details. And so that was just a long story to say, how much do you divulge? Like, how much do you tell your audience? What are they owed? Details?
Like the nitty gritty type details? Well, like a story time?
Mm-hmm.
No.
I don't think they need a story time. Maybe just a little announcement, we parted ways.
Right.
Again, that's, an individual thing, and it's going to be handled differently by everybody. Everybody doesn't have the same level of tact, and there are a lot of people that they're going to go ahead and share their business,
Right.
Yeah.
I think that they should say something.
Right.
I don't think that it has to be in great detail. I don't think they have to get into, this person cheated on me, so that's why we're getting divorced. Right. They don't have to do all that. Just a simple, unfortunately, we've decided to go our separate ways. We appreciate you for following us this far, blah, blah, blah. I'm still going to be up on YouTube putting out content about my family, whatever, but this person's no longer going to be in my vlogs.
Right.
So I think that's about as far as it has to go. If you want to go further, or if a YouTuber experiencing this wants to go further, then that's on them. But I think just that minimal, like, they don't need all the super crazy details.
That's the way to give it to them softly. That way they're not, sitting there guessing.
Right.
And they, get mad and they just unsubscribe. Or then on the other hand, you can cry and let your heart out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll feel sorry for you and they'll stay subscribed to you, but they're not going to watch your content.
She never directly came out and said that we're not together anymore. We're, going through a divorce. The only thing that she did say was that there's a shift in the family and their dynamics have changed. Do you think that's enough? And I pose the same question to my YouTube family. Do you think that's enough? Are you okay with that answer?
Well, not one, but
when you say shift or there's been a change in our family dynamics, that could mean a lot of things. That could mean that, maybe somebody passed away, God forbid. That could mean that, maybe he took a job somewhere in another country. He took a contract job in another country and he's going to be gone for 6 months to a year.
But what if, it's complicated and they don't know if they're completely separated.
Yeah, that's true. But
So
then
maybe if she doesn't know what it is yet, maybe she can't explain it to her subscribers.
Right.
So at this point, there's been a shift, but maybe she can't say, "Oh, we're not together." If maybe like they're
Right.
still
So
trying to
maybe
work
he's a
stuff
missing
out.
person. Maybe you really never know. I mean,
Yeah, well-
the channel gave so few clues that, you know, it could mean anything. Like you said,
well,
he could be on the
I think in
International Space Station.
her mind, she believes it's obvious, and it may be obvious to some people.
Maybe he's a deep sea diver. Maybe he's on a submarine mission that he's, gone for 6 months. And
Maybe. I mean, you just don't know. But how do you all think that situations like that should be handled when you are a public figure and you put yourself out there like that? Do you think that you're owed an explanation? Or at least for the person or the YouTuber to be direct. My personal opinion is I don't feel like anybody should have to get into, details about their relationship. However, because you're a YouTuber, because the content of your channel is pretty much based on your relationship in your family. If something changes, yes, I do feel that your audience is owed some type of explanation and a more direct one.
Okay, but in contrast to that, you don't owe your audience crap.
If you're
you can bleep
capitalizing
that
off
out.
of them, you do.
Like, you know how like people press Rihanna?
Yeah, about
she
why
dropped
she hasn't dropped
music?
music.
Because she's a musician. That's what
Exactly.
It's valid for them to ask about music because.
And I think Rihanna should have answered us by now, but
Yeah.
Does anybody know who Rihanna is anyway?
Yeah, I do.
From our generation, it's like,
Yeah, I know who she is. I'm not trying to say that she has a problem with people asking questions. I do know that she mentioned that some of the questions were rude. Like, I don't know what questions they were asking. I didn't pour through her comments or... Well, she is going to be sensitive right now. If, in fact, because I can't say for sure if they broke up. I can't say if they...
Obviously, she's going through something.
She's obviously going through something, exactly. But it only brought up the topic for us as to... Because we all, in our home, had the debate over what an
look at it
audience
this
is
way.
owed.
Nobody's owed any explanations, okay? But like Imani keeps saying, if you want to keep your viewers...
I don't know if that's necessarily true either, Imani, because like Nikki and Jamie, when they split ways, I think they pretty much kept their audience. They always had a lot of subscribers.
I'm not saying that. I never said
No,
they were going to
you know
lose
why?
their
Because-
audience
yeah,
completely.
right. People-
But I'm just saying, like, if you are capitalizing off of a certain thing, I feel like the people would deserve an answer is what I'm saying. Not
Right.
that you're going to lose them. But
Okay,
just,
so the people got an answer. The answer is, yes, there's been a shift in my family. Yes, the dynamics of our family has changed. Is that answer good enough?
I don't think that it was necessarily a bad way to answer. She technically, like, if she acknowledged that there was a difference. She didn't go into great detail obviously, but she let you know that there's a shift in their family dynamic, which however you want to take that, I don't know, but at least she's acknowledging that, hey, I noticed the questions that you guys are asking. I'm not just ignoring you. I'm not ready to talk about it right now. And that was, yeah. So I don't think it was necessarily a bad way to handle it. Could she have been like, oh, we're not together, like, officially? But you don't know because you don't know, like, what their situation is.
Right.
So it could be that it's just a complicated situation, but she does want to acknowledge that her subscribers aren't crazy and he never existed or something like that. So, I mean, I think it was okay.
Mm-hmm. I could be wrong, but I don't foresee her losing her subscribers because when you are doing this and you're doing it for a while, people grow to love you as a person. So, I'm pretty sure there are lots of subscribers of hers that's just grown to love her as a person. So whether he's there or not, I don't know that, that's gonna, it may affect it, but it may not,
I really think I think it's going to affect it a lot, especially on that channel, because I think that he was a big part of it.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know because
really
I wasn't
how big of a
right.
part
I don't.
he was,
right.
but I feel like
I
if
don't
I
either.
was subscribed to a channel,
Did you watch it?
I have watched them before.
Okay. Well, Sam's been watching them.
I've watched a few videos
Okay.
in the past,
Mm-hmm.
but ever since I found out about the disappearance of
Okay, that's not funny. I'm not gonna. That's not nice.
I'm sorry, I'm having too much fun with this now.
Okay, that's not nice. That's not nice, Sam.
I know, it's not. All right, so on a serious note here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's sad that.
What's wrong with you? What's wrong with
Him and
you?
his cowboy hat. But hey.
Okay, well, obviously Sam is a fan, so.
but I feel like
I don't know the channel like that.
if you're
necessarily a
subscribed
fan,
to
but-
a channel and you're subscribed to them because you like the relationship, and then there's no more relationship.
Well, everything was kind of based on the contrast of their characters, the husband and wife, because they weren't, alike in a lot of ways.
What
He's
do
a
you
little
mean?
bit country and she's a little bit on the. They capitalized on that.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I said,
completely
I'm not a fan, so
opposite.
I don't know. I'm not.
She claimed to be city dweller or whatever you call it, city slickers,
Okay.
and he was on the countryside.
Let me just say one thing too. Let's everybody. We pray. I pray. I'm going to pray for her and her family, and that God helps them to get through whatever rough patch that they're going through right now. And ask that you guys also give them some prayers as well, because we're obviously not here to bash anybody or to kick dirt on them while they're already down. So I do want to ask you guys to pray for them, as we will as well.
Now you're making me feel all bad about making.
Well,
a
you
joke.
should feel bad. You should feel bad, especially since you were
I like to have a
subscribed
little
to
bit
them.
of fun. I was never subscribed to
Okay,
them.
but you were watching the channel,
I
obviously.
watched a few videos.
Okay. The bottom line is I hear two different positions. Sam is more on the privacy end of things. You don't owe the audience anything. And Imani's more on the, yes, you do owe the audience. And Jamal chimed into a little bit as well. And I get the feel that he believes that you do owe your audience an answer. So I guess I'm a little bit on both sides. Sam's side in that, yes, the details are private, but a direct answer that I think the audience is owed, a direct answer, or that we decided to go separate ways for now, and I'm just not ready to get into the details about that right now. As long as you're direct that way, to me, I feel like the guessing is kind of hard on your audience, as far as, okay, is he alive? Is he dead? Is he away? Is he out of the country? The guessing is a little bit not good for anybody. The bashing part, like some YouTubers do when they break up, they go through this divorce. They kind of take the whole audience through a nasty divorce. And to me, I think that's awkward, inappropriate, and a bit on the tacky side. If you guys want to check her out, what's her name again? Tony Delaney. I believe her channel is. It used to be Tony and the Boy, and I think that channel's actually still up there, but she doesn't post anything more to that. But she seems like a really nice person, but she really takes you through, her divorce and that breakup, and it was really sad. But I'm going to pray for her as well. But again, those were just examples of how people handle things differently. And then you have the channel that we didn't mention a name, and they kind of handle it the way that they did. And some people are on this belief that she didn't give enough information. Some people are on the belief that, yeah, she did give enough and she didn't owe any explanation at all. So you guys tell me what you think out there. What do you think? You need more answers? Should she be more detailed? Anybody, and I'm not just talking about her, I'm talking about in general. What is really expected when you're a public figure? And more than just being a public figure, you put your life out there. You've invited them into that space, into that part of your life. As far as your relationship is concerned, is there a minimal expectation?
So maybe that needs to be officially established on YouTube, and it needs to be regulated that you have to reveal a certain amount. You have to sign to the agreement, that if something should happen to any member of your cast on your blog, your channel, then you have to give a full.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those things that goes without saying, Sam.
Explanation.
Are you serious? I don't even know what you're talking about.
The viewers are gonna.
You're either gonna,
I think I should
care about your audience
YouTube
enough.
code.
I think I should.
It's an unwritten code, though.
I get it.
Okay, so yeah, I think in all fairness, siding with her, I think that people should respect other people's privacy, because even if she invited you in that part of her life, there are limits. So, and everybody has to pretty much at the end of the day respect those limits. I understand both sides. I understand her audience who's asking questions and they just want to know. And
I feel like as long as they're respectful about it, then I don't think there's a problem with asking, because if you're, like I said, if you're subscribed to a certain channel and their content is based off of like their relationship, and then that relationship is no longer a part of the content, then I feel like you are allowed to ask those sorts of questions as long as you're not, like I said, disrespectful about it. Then I think it's okay to ask.
right.
Well, everybody, all of your subscribers aren't going to have the same level of respect for your relationship. They're all going to have they're all going to be there for a different reason.
Right. So anyway, guys, chime in the comments when your favorite YouTubers get divorced or break up for whatever reason. What do you expect to do? Do you think it's fair that they should tell you the details, or do you think, it's okay to just kind of be vague, or do you think you want or ignore it altogether, or do you think you want direct answers and you're okay with just a direct answer, or you want a direct answer and you want details? Tell me what you think is fair, or even if it's not fair, I'm just interested in your point of view and hearing what you guys have to say about it. So drop us a comment. So I think we're gonna
So give us the skinny on the skinny here, the scoop on the skinny.
okay.
Let us know. Comment down below.
Anyway, thanks for joining us once again. As always, give this video a thumbs up.
Don't forget to comment and subscribe.
Okay, and click the bell for notifications.
Yes, that's Sam's part. Click the bell for notifications.
That's all I can remember, so we'll go with that.
Okay, guys. Thanks again. Take care. God bless you all.